Alright, it is time for a draft, or maybe two, with the new set Modern Horizons 3. Um, my name is Karsten, and I'm one of the many sponsored creators here on the Ultimate Card channel. I love draft, and any new set always is very exciting to try out. I have done a couple of Modern Horizon 3 drafts so far. Um, this was like the most recent one that I did yesterday, and this is like typically my strategy in honestly any format. I just drafted, a deck with a curve and a couple removal spells, couple tricks, but nothing too special, and well, often it works out. Generally speaking, and indeed this holds in like every format, I often enjoy like white, green, or red combinations because they just play to the battlefield. And yeah, I don't love drawing cards with blue decks, or I don't know, discarding or graveyard shenanigans with black decks. Let me just curve out with some creatures and well, play a pump spell and a removal spell, and that's it. And this worked well enough with this particular deck. White green in Modern Horizons 3 is an archetype mainly based around modified, with Faithful Watchdog as a really awesome common gold creature, but the the type of modified in white green, it sometimes does a bit more with enchantments, but that particular team is not very well supported. Still, if you just draft a curve and attack with random dorks, it works out. So that has been my strategy thus far. I did write an article entitled Modern Horizons 3 Limited MTG Pick Order and Archetypes for channelfireball.com last week, which also links to my entire tier list on 17 lands. I might as well post those in the chat for reference, and I will be referring to that list also when I am about to set up a new draft, because I don't know, past Frank did a lot of work on like evaluating all the cards, and it's a useful start. But yeah, this was like the draft I finished yesterday. As I said, generally speaking, I prefer white, red, or green. Not so much because it's like the best archetypes overall, it's just a personal preference on how they play out. So let's join a draft and see how it goes. Alright, tier list at the ready to look up what I thought about cards before. And we'll see. Well, I immediately see a signature slam, which is one of the best uncommons in the set, I believe. Often you can boost a creature to make it win combat, while additionally like taking out some other creature on the opponent's side, so potentially an easy 2-for-1. Surely better than the alternatives. I guess I could pick Flood of Strand for the collection, but let's not do that here on this stream. At the commons, nothing truly stands out to me. Well, all of the common gold cards are quite powerful, including this one, but it is quite a commitment to take a gold card early. I think Basking Brutescale is a perfectly serviceable 2-drop for any green deck. Meh. Yeah, this is like the green-white payoff, which is actually kind of medium. So now I'll just stick with the Signature Slam. I think this is the best card in the pack and one of the better uncommons in the whole set. Wheel of Potential, not so much. Spirit is playable. Threshold is difficult. Nah. This card is playable. It's kind of a 1/1 flyer for 1 mana. Nothing too special though. I prefer not to dive into blue or black out of color preference. Alright, so that means that there's like no great card for me. If I want to stick within like my preferred colors, maybe Indebted Spirit. Yeah, it's just medium. It's on par with the Mandibular Kite. So I guess these fixers are also not ideal, because I could take this one if I end up. Nah. I'll just take the Snapping Void Craw for now. I don't know. Nothing I really wanted to see out of that pack. Johnny Phil's the Godsire seems strong. You know, card advantage, good effects. Let's see where I rated it in my list. It's like a B, on par with the best commons. Yeah, all of the other cards are not overly exciting. Even something like Evolution, Witness, yeah, like playable, but not great. I could take this and really build like an Eldrazi deck, but I don't love that color pair. I think I'll just take Ajani Phil's the Godsire. Also want to try this out if I can get a chance. Alright, what is this? Oh yeah, it references commanders, so probably not for us. Fangs of Colonia. Not the most efficient. Yeah, there's not much in the pack I want either. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Breathe Your Last is gonna be the best card in the pack. Just double check what this does. Mohawk Ancient. Oh, this is definitely bad. I mean, I could always take Flooded Strand for fixing, which might not be terrible, but I don't know. I'm not sure to be into white-blue. Might as well keep my options open. So, you know, this is the type of card that I like. You know, an aggressive red creature. It doesn't really fit with what we have been drafting so far, but you know, it's more my style. Perhaps the best card in the pack is Tune the Narrative, though I'm not sure where we are going exactly. And again, these are not really the types of decks that I like drafting all that much. This card could be quite powerful in an aggressive deck. These MDFCs are quite good as well, but yeah, for color preference, I'd rather just stick with a red card, even though, yeah, the colors are perhaps not very open. Alright, so the best cards in the pack are almost surely Cyclops, Superconductor, and Piratic Rebirth. Not really in colors I want to be drafting. Mindless Conscription, but we're not really drawing cards. I haven't been impressed by the Affinity team. I have no clue where this draft is going. Alright, here we have a card I actually like. Expressive Iteration is kind of sweet too. Oh, Breathe Your Last as well. This pack is like way better than all the previous packs. I could just take this pack and run. Black seems very open though, and Wither and Bloom I think is even better than Breathe Your Last. So I guess we will just pick this one up. I do like Area Auxiliary as well, but yeah, okay, I guess we should just be black. Fine. And is Drossclaw playable? It's not great. Glimpse, if we're black-red, doesn't really do much either. I mean, Serum Visionary is probably the best card in the pack, but I really do not want to go black-blue. That's not my style at all. I guess I'll just pick the Glimpse. It's Glimpse or Foul. This thing. Let's see where I rated stuff. Simulacra medium. Rumble a little bit better, I guess. Problem is, what colors are we gonna be? So far, maybe we're ending black-red. In which case this land doesn't really do much. I might still pick it up though. Nah, I'll take this one. Because if we end up black-red, that's kind of the affinity or artifact-based theme, so then this could be relevant. Meltdown. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be using that. Okay, Tune the Narrative should not come this late. Flare of Malice is a good card though. That's a sweet rare to see. Even when you cast it for like the regular cost, it's just a solid removal spell. And well, there's a bonus of casting it for free. But there's also a Signature Slam, which is arguably a better card, though perhaps it's like the only green card that we have so far. And at this point, ending up in black-red seems more likely with the cards we have. Your Signature Slam, I think, is better than Flare of Malice. Black was really open in the first pack, so let's just take this one. Add a removal spell to the pile. Rel and the Implicit Maze. Maybe. This card is good too. All of these MDFCs are always strong. Wrath of the Skies is a pretty powerful card as well. Though we're not really doing anything with energy at this time, but it is a solid sweeper. Let's see what Ral went for in my list. It's kind of all on par with the these MDFCs. This one might be just the best card. Like, might even splash green with it at some point. That's a relevant option too. Only problem is that we have far too many, well, removal spells and not enough creatures, but eventually we can fix that. Maybe we should be white. Yeah, this draft is just going terrible. I will now have to salvage this somehow, which is gonna be tough. Yeah, and Raptor doesn't really seem very good in a deck that doesn't really care about energy. Furnace Hellkite is decent in an affinity deck, but even if we're black-red, that's not really what we're doing. This card at least attacks while we remove things. a big one. Though brute scale and everything is good too. Don't think we'll be able to splash this. Yeah, there's nothing in black and red even in this pack. So we have to branch out, and then the logical splash is for green, in which case this makes some sense as a splash. It's just big. Gravedigg is playable. Yeah, this deck is just atrocious. But I guess this is a 2-drop at worst. Yeah, this doesn't fix anything for us. Charge Box seems better than Dreamdrinker Vampire if we're base black-red, because it's an artifact and the archetype still cares about artifacts. Maybe we could go heavier on the green with a Dread Mask, but nah. Just take this one. Now we're doing it a little bit with energy at this time. That is potentially a fixer if we end up 3 colors. Those Koa Ember Mage is also pretty strong. Nah. I think I'll take the fixer, because this deck is looking pretty bad at this time, and it seems likely that we will have to play 3 colors. Also, it's a way of triggering landfall twice. These lands are quite useful for that. Alright, so if we have 2 of these, maybe we can just go fast somehow. Adding this as just a flyer. It's not the best card, but whatever. It'll attack as a 4/3 flyer. It fits. This doesn't fix anything for us. This one's actually decent. I think if we have like battle cry stuff, as well as sometimes we need an artifact for affinity things. Alright, let's try to build some kind of red-black aggro deck. I don't think we'll be using Buried Alive for anything though. We could also use some 3-drops, given that we have 0 at this time. These glimpses are not gonna do much for us either. Though I guess we can ramp into Null Drifter, which is hardcasted for 7. That's not bad. What are the other options? Grim Servant playable, Mace playable. This card's kind of good actually. And DFCs are nice. Possible fixer, but not complete. Let's see where in my list, when I thought about it, I ranked the Mace and the Servant pretty low. Gravedigg is probably the best single color card. We cannot really cast this. Yeah, I think we'll just take the Null Drifter and just hardcast it for 7. That looks good. It also gives us some use for these glimpses, which are still our only 3-drops at this time. It kind of detracts us away from the very aggressive starts, but okay, well, we're not splashing white. This is a 3-drop. This requires Colorless to cast, not gonna happen. And the other cards are all medium. Yeah, we'll just take the 3-drop and the MDFC. Another Signature Slam. Okay. It's not perfect in our deck, I will admit, given that we don't have that many creatures, though it's still a very strong card in the abstract. We also already have quite a few slots for removal spells, but I guess one more does not hurt. An alternative is just taking something like Void Pouncer or Fetid Gargantua, probably the Void Pouncer. But we... With the glimpses, maybe we can pay it. And just keep the green splash to a minimum. Kinda like this. 3/3 menace. Well, don't say more. I'm down. Yep, these are the wrong colors. Alright. It even has a relevant ability. Interesting. That much damage plus 2 instead. You get energy, right. I don't think we have enough energy generation to really make that work. So a removal spell is probably better. Adding a Dream Drink or Vampire wouldn't be terrible either, but I think Breed Your Loss is gonna be stronger overall. I guess if we put those in a 3-drop slot, you know, it kind of looks better in a way. Though, given that we have double red and double black now, I am way more hesitant to actually splash. So, kind of considering to just toss the whole green idea. Imscare Iron Eater. We don't have a lot of artifacts, even though red-black is the affinity color. But we have a few, and it is something to ramp into with the glimpses, I guess. Even then, we don't have anything big to sacrifice, so it's not great in our deck. Maybe we can sacrifice... no, this is not even an artifact. But yeah, there was nothing else in the pack for us. Yeah, this card's fine, I think. Monk or Throwdown. Nah, the Monk actually seems quite decent, because we have multiple Breed Your Loss to return, also the flexibility of an MDFC. It's actually a solid addition. Yeah, I think we kind of just want a 3/3, 4/3. That is kind of what our deck needs. We don't really need more Simulacrums. Yeah, we're making something out of it. This card's playable. It's either this or the Mace. Though, even though the Mace works with Imscare. Yeah. This probably better. Can also just sacrifice something small, like a token from the glimpses. Okay, an artifact for the Imskier. And for the aggro strategy. Well, it's something. Bomb spell, maybe. Are we playing Barbarian Ring? Don't think so. Probably deals more damage to us than to our opponents. Alright, so this deck is absolutely atrocious. But we'll make something out of it. Yeah, probably not. $44 cards? It's more than I thought. This land can now pay for Void Pouncer, the kicker. So maybe it's worth keeping. Could theoretically put in an island for Null Drifter, but given that we have double red, double black, that is almost surely not worth it. Nah. Let's just build something consistent. So we just curve out, or actually it triggers the landfall. And multiple instances of Battle Cry probably give a boost to everything twice. Alright. I think that's how it works. So... how do we build this? We're not really ramping much, so the second glimpse is almost surely a waste. Perhaps this Imskier is just not even good. Like... it's... yeah, at its best, if we curve like Simulacrum into Charge Bug and then some other stuff, It's a 5/5 for 6 that draws a card. The sacrifice ability is not really going to help as much. Feels like we're better off with just a lower curve. And then somehow remove our way to victory. At that time, yeah, we can just shave all the artifact stuff. The random 3/3 for 3 to fill up the curve. So we have some removal here. Just looking at the mana base. Currently we effectively have 10 mountain, 8 swamp. Could argue that a 9/9 split is better when we have double red and double black. Though we don't really need to play Breathe Your Last on turn 3. Often we even want to keep that for, I don't know, turn 5 or 6 to destroy something bigger. And we definitely need red mana early to cast our early drops. So perhaps this split is still okay. Could just shave a land and just use this stump as a mountain most of the time, which I think is how it is going to be used quite often. Yeah, we also have this as an MDFC if need be, so then we effectively play 16 real lands and 2 MDFCs. Oh, 3 actually. Yeah, then going down to 16 is certainly fine. It's a deck. Maybe I still like the extra swamp. Maybe we can cut one of these simulacrums. They just count as kind of a random additional removal spell. Which means that we ultimately have a bit too much removal. Is this Glimpse even worth it? Like the Eldrazi spawn do ramp into Null Drifter, which is nice. But yeah, that's kind of it. On the other hand, whatever, playing this on turn 5 and just drawing 3 cards, it's fine. It's not quite actual draw cards, it doesn't trigger the Mindless Conscription, but yeah, there's enough synergy to keep one. Yeah, this just looks like a kind of a medium aggro deck. Adding a Siege Smash is like the type of card that I like in these decks. It's just for the combat trick effect, but removal is generally just better overall. And maybe we can play one Imskier, but yeah, we effectively have 5 artifacts. And that's kind of it, right? Yeah, it's not worth it. The Affinity theme in Red-Black is just not very well supported. We'll go with this. I expect a quick 0-3, and then we can actually do a draft with a successful deck. But yeah, this was a bit of a train wreck. It feels like in this set it is more difficult to just force the color combinations that I enjoy, as I might do in other formats. Like, I'm sure if I were just more open in terms of colors and like willing to branch out outside of my comfort zone in the first couple of drafts, I surely could have been in like another color pair that would have been better. Well, they're down to 18. 18 turns to go. And the assault is halted. I'm not gonna spend a Breathe Your Last on this unit. It can stay around, I'll just Breathe Your Last, they're 3-drop, and then they attack me for 1, I attack back for 1. Okay, maybe maybe I will kill it then. Let them attack first. Aggro dorks assemble. I mean, it's better than like a 5 mana removal spell that deals 4 damage to a creature, because they have already taken my opponent down to 16. At the same time, opponent also built a 3-color deck. Semi-aggro-ish. Sure, you got it. That one just trades for a Simulacrum. Probably not worth spending a Breathe Your Last on that. So what's in my deck? I think there's no real reason to use this yet. I am okay with just trading one of these for a Trawler and getting in for 1. Like, if I play this, I would prefer to be able to... Okay. Oh, they're racing. Sure. I would prefer to be able to, like, actually hit a 3-drop and play it, to guarantee some sort of value. Especially when the Eldrazi Scions are not gonna be helping me much. Ah, it's a Simulacrum Mirror. Interesting. Sure, I'll use my mana. Maybe this is the time to pull the trigger. Do they have counter magic? Is that in the set? I mean, maybe. Let's try. Well, there's a 3-drop at least. And this one surely is better. Question is, do I want to attack and trade off the Simulacrums? Because otherwise they just sacrifice this next turn to deal with the Precursor. Yeah, I think attacking here is fine. So now I have a Menace creature that can attack for 3 a turn. I still have removal spells for whatever they play next. It's at least a game plan. Now if they have not a removal spell for the Precursor, we don't really have anything. That is fine. Don't really care too much about that. Yeah, so then equip the X on the next turn, and we start racing. Me for 3 with a Menace creature, them for 4 with this dork over here. I'm winning that race at the moment. Alright. And if they attack here, I don't think I'm even going to use my Breathe Your Last. I'll save it for something bigger and better. This draw has not been particularly exciting so far. We had, what is it, 9 lands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7 cards. It's actually a reasonable mix, but our deck is just low impact overall. Would be nice to draw a Null Drifter though. I think I'll keep the Bountiful Landscape on the board because we have landfall creatures as well as a Void Pouncer in the deck that we need the colorless mana to pay the kicker for. And that feels more important than the deck thinning. Alright, well, Ward 4, fine. I can pay that. So now do they want to attack? I assume so, yeah. Let's shrink it. Alright, let's go. Haste creature. Or Null Drifter, I'll take that one too. Nice. Yeah, I should have actually played Swamp first, then Null Drifter, leaving a mountain untapped. Because the only single mana card in my deck that I could draw was the Simulacrum. So that was not played optimally. Oh well. But this was a nice draw. Technically we have lethal on the next turn. With the Simulacrum attacking for 8 with 1 removal spell. And you don't need blue to make Null Drifter good. It's just a solid 7-drop overall. Fine. Well, if they attack here and they have nothing, then they are dead. Seems kind of unlikely that they have absolutely nothing. Okay. So I don't want to start with this into open mana. I'm not sure what kind of removal there is in the format, or bounce, but I don't want to walk into that. But starting with the Simulacrum does seem good. No, wait, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm just going to kill this so that I can, or well, I am going to kill this so that I can attack with a menace creature. Question is which of these two dorks actually? And sure, this is currently equipped over here, but at the base this is just a stronger creature. So yeah, let's just go here. Alright, I'm not sure what our opponent was doing with all the cards in hand and all the mana. But yeah, it's early in the format, so everyone is just trying out weird stuff. We got there. That's already one more win than I was expecting with this deck. Let's go then. Come on, Arena. I'm down for more. Beautiful. What can I say? And to note, this card is still not very good. It's just, well, like a playable filler. Artifact synergy sometimes matter, though not so much in my deck. It's just a coincidence that I drew all three of them. I think I'll save the energy for something better. Like even if they play like, I don't know, like a 2/2 Grizzly Bear or something, could spend 1 energy to give this +1/+0 menace, but feels like there's more value. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that works. And again, I'll hold on to the energy because it's probably going to be more valuable next turn. Yes, this is more like it. This is how I drew it up. Stupid creature beatdown. Oh, you have to target first and then choose not to use it on resolution, sure. Kapoosh. Oh yeah. Sure, that will ramp them, I assume. Ooh, they're going big. Idol of the False Gods and Ulamog, did I see that right? Okay, this is more of a team deck that they built. I like it. Well, can never have enough of these dorks. Land would be good though. What a team. Question is, am I going to just play Gravedigg as a 2/2? Answer is probably yes, because it just uses my mana. And if I draw a land on the next turn, I have another Battle Cry trigger. And I'm just swarming my opponent, so it kind of fits with the plan. An argument not to play it is that, you know, they might play something big to stabilize, then remove Thriving Skyclaw, and then I still have... Oh, target player created. Oh, why does this target? What the hell? And then I could still have the Gravedigg to return the Thriving Skyclaw, but nah, we'll just go for the beatdowns. Well, thank you for the raid, MTG Malone, and welcome everyone from the Malone stream. Hope you had a good one. I am Frank Karsten, and trying out some Modern Horizons 3 drafts. My style is to go aggressive with stupid little creatures. I have an absolutely atrocious deck. The draft went completely wrong, but you know, stupid creature beatdown has already taken my opponent down to 9 life, and we'll see if we can swarm them. Okay, so this is a big blocker. Fine. We'll just add another silly 1/1 with haste. And get in there. Booyah. This has menace. This can give this one menace. So that if they want to block this one, which is currently the best creature I have on the board, they at least need to jump block with this and cannot block something else with that. So, yep, that seems worth it. See, I do assume that my opponent is going to double block the Pyro Surfer here, taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down to 3. Well, normally I would say this could then kill them in the air, but this one has reach, so that plan is stopped. This deals damage to creature or planeswalker. They actually blocked the Menace Bug. Interesting. We got there? Oof. I'm I'm a bit puzzled by their block. Like, my expectation was that they would just block this to stay at a higher life total. But sure, the menace is annoying as well. Stupid creature beatdown. Got there. Raging Goblin, effectively, in Modern Horizons 3. Don't try this at home. But so far, I'm 2-0. I will be in Bochum for the Lorcana challenge. But my focus this month will be on Modern and Modern Horizons draft, because the MagicCon is coming up in Amsterdam, where I will be doing coverage for the Pro Tour stream. Though I hope to see better decks than this at the Pro Tour. Generally speaking, and this holds in like any format, I just like to draft a deck with a curve that attacks with creatures early on, doesn't really do all that much with synergies, and then adds some pump and removal spells. Effectively, that is what this deck is doing as well. As you saw, 1/1 haste, another haste dork, some small menace creatures, and then trying to top it off with active trees and effects, flyers, and like a big dose of removal to clear the way. That is kind of the plan, but the deck is not good. Generally speaking, in Modern Horizons 3 there are very powerful themes and archetypes to build around. Red-Black is more about affinity and artifacts, but with very little support, and you also don't see any support in this deck. In fact, my draft went pretty badly, and I'm even playing fillers like this one, which has a lot of text, but it's effectively just make a 3/3 for 3 to fill out the curve. But, well, somehow it is going well. We're 2-0, already 2 more wins than I was expecting. So maybe we can continue with the Raging Goblin beatdown. Oh, it's not Raging Goblin, but these are actually better. Hello. Yeah, this is a card I actually like. 2/2 haste for 2 is already, fine deal. But getting Battle Cry in a deck that goes aggressive is quite useful. Then again, things have changed. My opponent was on the play, so we are defensive by nature. We just drew a Null Drifter, so suddenly our entire plan is different. In fact, there is some merit to, well, I mean, we're definitely playing this, but there is some merit to not attacking at all, because our opponent might just say, well, no blocks, and then enter a damage race. I think we actually want to be defensive, weirdly. Like, I don't want to be trading 2 damage for 3 damage. Our plan, like, especially after drawing the Null Drifter, it switched completely from woohoo, get in there with haste creatures, to hold on, we're holding the fort, and we want to survive until we can drop Null Drifter and ride that to victory. So this has persist, which means we can block it with a Pyro Surfer, and then it turns into a 1/1 flyer. Not great. Yeah, that doesn't seem like the best exchange. I'll just pass and play this on whatever their 4-drop is. It feels like more mana efficient. Meh. Alright. I guess then we also need to conserve our resources, which means discarding this Pyro Surfer. Actually, we could discard Null Drifter and then use the Pyretic Rebirth to get it back later, dealing 7 damage to whatever creature. Yeah, actually, let's think about this for a sec. Because what are we doing next turn? I mean, one option is to play the Pyro Surfer and attack for 2, but meh. Discarding Null Drifter means that I do have like a good removal spell on the next turn, which can then lead into Pinnacle Monk returning this, I guess. Right, which then returns the Pyro Surfer later. Meanwhile, we're still attacking for a bunch. I guess that works. No, we did play the right land. Oh yeah, this still works. This still works. Booyah. And out of nowhere, we are attacking. But yeah, the plan is still the same. Right, Pyretic Rebirth will deal with whatever they have here. We get back to Null Drifter, and we'll eventually overpower them with that. Uh-oh. What the hell is this? Ah, that's a good one. Yikes. Okay. Well, there goes the get back Null Drifter plan. That's a very powerful effect. Now they get to play my Rebirth. Ugh. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty good. Alright. So I can get something back with this. But then I immediately have to discard it. Huh. So if that happens, then I have a 2/2 and a 1/1. Can trade for this, but then I lose to the Flyers. What if I just do nothing this turn? Take 6, discard the Swamp. Next turn, maybe draw land. Like, I guess this shoots down this. I go down to 11, I draw land, play this. Go down to 5, I remove the crab, but then I'm at 5 and they had 2 turns to play their other cards, so that also doesn't really get me anywhere. So maybe I just need to top deck something. Yeah. Ultimately that's better. Meh. Yeah, I don't think I can beat this. That crab was an abomination. Yeah, we'll take it. Unfortunate. So what are we doing here? One option is to trade these two for the crab. And then I'm at 8, have to deal with these Flyers. Almost impossible to raise. I guess I could draw some removal for it bit by bit, but that will be tough. Alternatively, I just attack with this, bluff having something, they go down to 14. This shoots down that. I go down to 5 and then draw like a hard removal spell for the crab, of which I have like 1 or 2, 3. Yeah, I think that gives me a better chance. Yeah, I was gonna say, this thing has prowess, so I was not expecting a block here. Shoot down this Flyer. This refurbished Familiar seems like a very strong card. That's the type of card I would have loved to pick up as well, but I don't think I saw any during the draft, at least as far as I can recall. It cannot attack or block, but at least it still retains the ability, so prowess still triggers. Another crab. Holy crap. This card seems amazing. Got crabbed. Fair, fair. It's kind of weird. We're red-black, but like no payoffs for affinity or artifact at all. Not even sure how we ended up in red-black. I was just drafting a bunch of cards in the beginning. Black seemed very much open because we were fed like top tier cards very late. And then, yeah, I don't know, it seemed like with everything we had, it was the only reasonable option to go into. This is a nice aggro hand. We do need to draw some lands, but if we do, then we're curving out. What is this horse doing here in the middle of the table? Oh, okay. Weird. Wait, that's my pet. If you are looking to get into Lorcana rather than Magic, I would say Magic is actually a great game. But you can check out some of my articles on the Ultimate Guard blog, as well as on the TCG Player website, and those can give you some early, advice and pointers for how to play. So which are we starting with? I'll just go for the high upside play. Like, I don't want to start with a charge bug because it doesn't really attack for much if the opponent doesn't have a 2-drop. Void Panzer is certainly the best if they don't have a 2-drop, because then I can attack for 3. Pyrosurfer might be slightly better otherwise. Okay, so this is lifelink. Yada yada. Yeah, fine, let's just force a trade. I assume they will want to block the Void Panzer, because me not playing a land means that I don't have a land in hand. Or this. Yeah, it depends on what they have next. If they have some 1 toughness creatures to trade for the Void Panzer, this is fine too. No. So now we have a 3/3 Menace that will definitely help our race. We can, even if we don't draw land, follow up with another Menace creature, which can then give Menace to more stuff. So currently we're trying to just overwhelm our opponent, putting a lot of pressure on their blockers. And we are ahead in the race so far. The only downside is that we have not drawn a 4th land. We also need another red for the Thriving Skyclaw. We are nowhere close to casting Null Drifter, so yeah, okay, this is going downhill. They got back the lifelinker, so suddenly we're not winning the race anymore. And it is probably going to be drawing a mountain on the next turn or bust, because we will need to start deploying these Thriving Skyclaws to keep up in the race. If we don't, I may just have to switch from trying to beat down to playing the control. Interesting. So this cannot adapt yet. Can certainly attack with this, because, They can double block, I'm fine with that. And then have 2 charge bugs to block this unit. Yeah, that looks good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So far, like I've done a couple drafts of MH3, and well, I'm enjoying it so far. Any new limited format is always a good time because it's just fun to figure out how all the new cards work. The well, it is also kind of a unique take on the limited format with teams spread across multiple archetypes in a way, right? Energy is, what is it? White, blue, white, red, and blue, red. And there's modified in white, green, green, black, and black, white. Eldrazi found in red, green, and blue, green. And then you have a not very well supported affinity archetype in red black and a draw 3 archetype in blue black. We at least found a mountain, so that's good news. But yeah, so far it has been fun. I guess I could just attack with everything where the bugs bump each other. Also steal something, does that help? I don't know. Steal Dream Drinker, Vampire, sacrificing a charge bug. Attack with everything. No, that doesn't really help. The frog will turn into a huge flyer. So that's something I will want to steal at some point. Yeah, we can go for this. So these two bump each other. Yep. Wait, this is not possible. This has -2. Can only block 1. Choose one. Any of these. You can block with as many as you want, but you cannot block more than 2 of my attackers. Alright, get that lifelinker out of here. And the claw. So the frog. I can, like, if I steal it, I can give it flying. I can pump it 3 times. So that's not doing it yet. I guess the attacks have stopped. Right. Wait, this can also exploit itself. No, that is still not going to be enough. Me. So what's the plan? This card is very good. What's the plan here? Well, at least currently the frog is not growing so much. Can I play defense until I cast Null Drifter? Might be tough against like a 6/6 trample. So the frog comes down next turn. This can boost. Okay, let's see. Steal this. so that's 4. Block, block, block. I think I want to go for the Act of Treason effect. Because if I draw like 2 lands into Null Drifter, I don't feel confident I can win this one. Interesting. Okay. Well, if I knew that this was coming, I would have kept the Null Drifter. Huh. So do I have lethal here? Hold on. Suppose I play the Captor, exploit itself, then steal Refurbished Familiar, attack with everything, pump this, pump here, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, they can only block one of these. Yeah, I think that works. Right. This pumps itself. 6, 7, 8, and then 1 menace damage goes through. Yeah, I believe that works. Team Menace and Evasion got there. I'm kind of yeah, I was a little bit surprised that the opponent went for the activation on Exile Wither and Bloom to boost their Refurbished Familiar rather than playing a Psychic Frog, which could also act as an additional flying blocker. Because of course they wanted to have like 3 power to be sure to take down the thriving Skyclaw, but this opened them up for this Act of Treason win. Well, silly aggro creature beatdown got there. Oh, that's already 3 more wins than I expected. A fine hand. It did feel like, at least in the draft, and maybe it was just this particular draft that I did, that there were a lot of packs without any standout cards. Where yeah, we were really scrounging for playables or good stuff to pick up, thereby finishing with a somewhat mediocre deck. And maybe that's a factor of play boosters that we still have to get used to with 1 fewer card. Maybe it's also that there are like a lot of cards in this set that are, I don't know, like there's a lot of gold cards at common, so there's like more risk of having a booster without any card for your archetype. Do I care about this? Not really at this time. Like, weirdly, the beatdown. Sure. Okay, now they can. Okay. Well, suddenly a good target for Beat Your Last. 2 menace creatures coming your way. Is there some kind of like protection, indestructible stuff in this set? I think there's like at least an MDFC that does that, so let's just kill this before they have a chance to go off. No, and the next turn this one brings back the removal spell, so we're basically going on a murder spree. While menace creatures pummel their life total. So the bug does not want to attack, that's for certain. Does the Void Bouncer want to trade for any of their creatures? This time... what's going to happen? So I play the Monk, I get back the Breacher Last. Next turn... it's probably gonna be kill one thing, Pyro Surfer, Landfall, attack with everything, so then the Monk is a 3-3. I probably want to give Menace to the Pyro Surfer. But yeah, if I want to be attacking with the Charge Bug, they need to have fewer creatures. But if they have the Trainer, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I guess we can. Nah. I'll keep the Void Bouncer back, because then at least I can block the Watchdog. I have the impression that this card or this effect is not going to matter all that much. Oh. Okay. Well, no energy yet, that's the good news. They might have some pump spells in hand with so much mana open. So I'm a bit hesitant to get in there right now. And I could play Mindless Conscription and Breathe Your Loss and attack with the Pinnacle Monk as a 4-4, but walking into a pump spell doesn't feel great. Could also just make like a 3-3, kill something end of turn. Then Pyro Surf, Breathe Your Last. Get in there with everything, feels a bit safer. Then I just don't walk into tricks with open mana. Next turn will be a big attack, almost surely. Also note, this is never going to trigger, this is just a 3-3. Probably kill this now before they have a chance to leverage the cost reduction. Hold on. They knew I had Breacher last day. Saw that from this, so... well. No, this is fine. Had to go through it at some point anyway. Wait, where did they get the energy from? must have missed something. Oh no, they didn't get energy. This was just boosted by the trainer. Right. Yeah, no blocks, I assume. Then next turn. Well, I guess I still have to kill that. Or I could even kill the watchdog and swing in with everything. The greatest mana value. Okay, so this means that they have to sacrifice this. Fine. Yeah. This feels good. And this gives this menace. I attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13. Then they block. Well, they probably don't block, and that's fine. But I don't want to give them a chance to like trade this off. That's why I give it menace. And suddenly I am winning the race. Ah, non-token black creature. I was actually thinking I could sacrifice this one to play Flare of Malice at any point. Awkward. Because I thought I was like completely safe if they go do something crazy. But uh-oh. Had I thought about that interaction, I probably would have just played Flare of Malice instead. That would be way safer. Then they can use the Watchdog to block, I don't know, a 3-3, this one cannot attack, so they're at 6, but then, yeah, that would have been way better. Because if they had like a way to modify this, then I might have been dead all of a sudden. Still, we got there. Well, 4 more wins than expected. I will do another draft after this, and I really hope to end up in red-white, green-red, or white-green, because that's just more the type of Magic that I like to play. Silly Creature Beatdown. Perfect. What a beautiful hand. I mean, we have 3 creatures, all of which have 1 power, so it's gonna take forever to win the game. We do have a good mix between creatures, lands, and removal spells. A curve that allows us to use all of our mana in the early game. But, yeah, a little awkward. Let's go. Raging Goblin with an ability. Sure thing. I guess I'll keep the Simulacrum behind as a blocker for now. Because if I attack, then they will probably just take the damage and likely attack back, forcing or like offering a trade here. Now, at least they don't have the option of trading 1 damage for 3. That's pretty good. Oh, it even works with... yeah, when more creatures would enter the battlefield, it also proliferates the counters onto here. This Glyph Elemental, I think, is one of the best uncommons in the set. It's just hyper efficient, kind of a bristly bill, which was a bomb in the previous set, except with Bestow. So I could kill this, and then this just returns as like a 3/3, which I will also have to deal with. But maybe that's better than not doing nothing, because I have to go through it at some point. I guess I can steal it with the Captor, but... yeah, Wither and Bloom is probably worth it. Because then at least I can kill it with a Simulacrum on the next turn. Right, they play a land, this turns into a 4/4. I then shoot it down, keep attacking with the Menace Dork. But I'm not spending the energy yet. I hope to boost better and bigger creatures than a Simulacrum on this turn. Uh-oh. Well, that's a problem. That both gets it out of like Sarpedian Simulacrum range and gives them a copy. Yikes. Alright, this is this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be very difficult all of a sudden. Right. How do we beat this? Because it's just gonna make more and more Glyph Elementals every turn. So my plan is to attack here, maybe with the Simulacrum as well, that's what I'm thinking about, because I'm just going to jump block here and then sacrifice it to deal damage to the other Glyph Elemental. Try to stay alive for a bit while attacking with a Menace creature. The next turn I will do kind of the same. Could also wait with sacrificing to get more of these. Might actually be the best. No, we need to do that next turn for mana efficiency. Yes. Yeah, that works. Okay, so this turn, sack and shoot. Next turn, precursor, attack with perhaps just this, put a counter onto this to attack with like a big Menace creature. Turn after, I'm down to 9. I'm again going to jump block and shoot something, probably fall down to 3 or so on the crackback. In the meantime, the opponent will be down to around 15, down to 10-ish, and then I win with Infernal Captor in, what is it, 3 turns. That's at least the plan that I envision. Whether it's going to work, doubtful. but it's kind of a 3-turn plan for the damage race. So to reiterate, next turn it's Precursor, Wither and Bloom onto the charge bug, attack them down to 13. I take a whole bunch, putting me down into the single digits. Turn after, charge bug and Precursor attack both, putting them down to 8 in fact. I then keep this open as like a jump blocker and shooting down something. Huh. Okay, well they didn't play land or make additional stuff, so that's good for me, I guess. Does that change anything about the plan that I just described? Well, for one, I think they should have played this pre-combat, because then this would have gotten trample. Yeah, this Oozwag actually does change things, because if this adapts, I can no longer win the race with like the jump and sack, because this turns into a 6/6. This all has trample. Yeah, I cannot beat that. So yeah, that's tough. Or is that true? Because maybe then I can also steal this. Let's try actually. Let's suppose I don't have any lands anymore and just play like a random dork on the next turn. Can I spend the energy? So then I go down to 11. No. Probably need the energy to give this stolen creature menace in 2 turns or so. Because if they now activate this, then and attack with both, I will just take the damage, then steal this for 6, and then I am exactly lethal, I believe. That's unfortunate. But if they don't have lands, then they have a bunch of removal spells. Okay, I'm also not beating that. Huh. So I need to shoot this now, otherwise they have a chance to adapt. And then make this as a 2/2 chump blocker. And yeah, I don't see another option. Maybe if I have like an amazing chain of top decks, I can still get there, but this will be tough. Not even sure what I can draw, honestly. Well, that's not it, I don't think. So I need a jump blocker, that's for sure. And I wish I could use the Act of Treason effect in a good way somehow, but I don't think we will have that option, so I'll just add to the battlefield and jump block here, take 3, start racing somehow. trade things off. Let's suppose they have like 3 blue cards in hand or something, and we draw a removal spell on the next turn, followed by a string of good cards. That's at least the plan. I guess not. Alright, well, this game was doomed from the get-go. But I did my best. I'm already looking forward to the next draft. That'll be fun. Like, hopefully I can draft like a red-green Eldrazi deck. I had one of those and it was very powerful. I haven't drafted red-white yet, but that also seems fun. Nice and aggressive. Well, this hand is very awkward. Yeah, the only pressure we have is a 2/2. This glimpse is not gonna do much, especially without any mountains. Let's just search for something better. It's better, I would say. So what's the plan? Option 1 is putting down Null Drifter and going fast. Option 2 is putting away, I guess, Skyclaw and going slow and winning with Null Drifter long game. Option 3 is just putting away a swamp, because, well, we'll need to draw a mountain anyway for the Skyclaw, but that feels bad. If we keep the Null Drifter, I want to keep all 4 lands. So either Null Drifter goes, but then we're kind of just mana flooded, even if we draw a mountain, or one of the other cards go, and then tossing the Skyclaw feels better, because we aren't even able to cast it at the moment. And I might rather have a removal spell on turn 4 than a flyer on turn 4 if we go for the Null Drifter plan. Null Drifter plan it is. Not really what our deck is set up to do. In fact, I was considering to cut Null Drifter when I was building the deck, but well, it's still like a powerful 7-drop, and we didn't have many great alternative options. So all of a sudden we are a control deck that started with a Raging Goblin on turn 1. Do we kill this now? Nah. We will take it very slow. Should have killed it. Well, I mean, if I knew that this was on top. Yeah, I don't want to trade my Simulacrum for the Unicorn, because I'm playing a slow game, so I need the removal spell. The Pyro Surfer... Nah. Nah, this feels a little bit better. Like, one option was to play the Pyro Surfer and just, I don't know, attack and trade. But I was thinking this way, if they play, I don't know, like a 3/3 on the next turn, they're going to attack. I kill their 3/3, then I untap, play Pyro Surfer, attack for 4. Even though I am the control deck, I will still trade 4 for 2. As it turns out, they are doing this, whatever this means. Okay, fine. And we are attacking all of a sudden. And we are the control all of a sudden. Huh. Okay, we'll start by attacking, that's for sure. I think I want this as a land. Yeah. It's kind of weird, because this thing can get back Breach Your Loves, which is also very powerful, but my plan is just to ramp into Null Drifter. I think I'll hold on to the Breach Your Lost. It just feels like a better removal spell than this Simulacrum. But this unit can go. And attacking with the Simulacrum for one more turn doesn't feel like it matters too much because, well, our game plan revolves around the Null Drifter. Our opponent's at 12, so 11 or 12, it's a 3-turn clock. Uh-oh, they found Doc Umbra. Well, there goes that plan. Okay, they're going off with this amulet. This card seems pretty solid in an energy deck. Well, maybe they want to play the Doc Umbra. I'll take that. Doesn't feel like I want to trade. Okay. That line doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If you want to play the Dark Umbra, you might as well do it before I attack. Given that I clearly drew this and didn't have like a 4-drop creature on the previous turn. Okay. Yep. Okay, the 4/4 can go, so we can properly raise. Yikes. Well, if we draw a land, then, you know, the game plan is in hand. A plan more than 7 turns in the making, all the way down to the opening hand. Let's hope it works, because they are drawing a lot of extra cards. It does not work. Their deck looks solid, like this is the type of deck that I would enjoy drafting. Ah, it's exiled, come on. Come on. Yeah, well. Sure. So this now creates cat. Sure. Yeah, this card seems pretty good. I picked it up in the draft, then just didn't really see much in the way of white, but yeah, this produces a lot of value over time. But yeah, speaking of value, this amulet has given them a lot of cards. And I don't really see how I can somehow get out of this and win this game. Because right now they're gonna play this, creating 4 more energy. Maybe they can boost everything, but it's probably even just better to sink that energy into the amulet, just draw more cards. Although, if they give everything haste, block one of the gremlins, taking 8 and then to 5. No, I would probably just sink it into the amulet. Okay, maybe with that one on top of it. Fine, you can give everything haste. So if I block here, I am dead. If I jump block, I'm at least alive. Or am I? No, I'm also dead. Well, whatever. It doesn't really matter then. Yeah, this deck looks good. Let's draft something like this. That's white energy, powerful cards, no stupid unplayables. I would enjoy that. So let's dive into another draft. Oh, I'm so ready. Galvanic Discharge is one of the best comments. So is Fanged Flames, actually. But I think the Discharge is slightly better. Just to see what past Frank thought about it. Looking at my pick order list on 17 lands. Right, that one is linked in an article on channelfireball.com entitled Modern Horizons 3 Limited MTG Pick Order and Archetypes. Galvanic Discharge I had slightly higher, so yep, I'll be taking that. I like it. If it wasn't in a pack, well, Fanged Flames is not far behind. And the rest of the pack is largely lackluster. If we want to stay in red, we have Void Pouncer or Simulacrum as options, but those are medium filler. I think the white cards are actually quite decent, both of them. I like MDFCs for their flexibility, and this one is just perfectly fine elephant stats. This Branching Evolution, fun build around, but not something I'm going to be interested in. Yeah, there's so many gold comments that changes the nature of the draft quite a bit. Let's see which card I had higher in my list. Which enchanter? Probably the enchanter higher. Yeah, that makes sense. The MDUCs are always nice, and this is a good value creature. Not much in the way of red-white. I mean, there's an Indebted Spirit, which is playable, but nothing I really want to be taking. So I also don't mind ending up in green. I like the Oozewag. Honestly, Wither and Bloom is probably the best card in the booster. I just don't really like to draft black if I can help it. Revitalizing Repast might also be a good option. Probably better than the Oozewag even, and it's more flexible. Nah. I'm actually taking the Oozewag. This is just purely based on color preferences. I think Wither and Bloom is the correct pick. The best card in the pack. But I just drafted black, and I would prefer to draft in the Naya colors if I can help it. This Evangel is a solid 2-drop. Brute Scale, a solid 2-drop as well. Yeah, those are the main options in my mind. The Unicorn is like decent too, but I think the Evangel and the Brute Scale are slightly superior. Thraben Charm is also playable, but I think I'll pick a white card because white seems to be pretty much open, and I think that the Evangel is just the best in the pack. Proliferating can do a lot of sweet synergies, so I'll just try this out. What does this do? Alright, that's one of the weaker MDFCs, because the Stone Rain effect doesn't do much in limited. The Folter, creatures without flying, can block this turn. Yeah, sometimes okay, but yeah, not really worth the card. The best card in the pack is almost surely Depth Defiler. This is one of the top uncommons in the set. Really strong. But again, in a color I don't really want to draft. I just enjoy red, green and white a bit more. So Depth Defiler is certainly the best pick in the pack. And maybe it's like so much better than the rest that we should just take it. It should not even be in here. It's like really one of the better uncommons in the set, I think. Ooh, the Watchdog. Okay. Well, Wither and Bloom again is the best card in the pack, but not taking that due to color preferences. I will just take the Watchdog because, you know, all the gold cards are amazing. We have not seen that much in the way of red after our first pick, Galvanic Discharge. And, well, it's just an excellent 2-drop. I am not sure if we will end up in green-white for sure, but when you have the chance, just to take the gold cards. This is... Well, if we end up in white-blue, maybe it fixes. Would I ever take Nesting Grounds? Not very highly. Maybe if you need colorless mana for something. Does this do anything? Effect or enchantment, we don't have anything yet. No, like if we end up in white-blue, then I'd rather have the land. Or are we winging it? There's a lot of awkward cards in all of these packs. Like Meltdown, Null Elemental Blast, a lot of common lands, common gold cards. It feels like the packs dry up quickly somehow. I mean, Wing It is just a playable trick, nothing too special, but might as well take it here. Fall Strike is another, you know, playable filler card. Yeah, all of these cards are kind of filler, except for the Sneaky Snacker, which is a premium common, but not in colors that I want to draft. Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of just modern-based cards, like Vexing Bauble. Could easily be a modern sideboard card, but not gonna do much for limited. So it does feel like packs dry up quickly. I'll take a Fixer. Or maybe this. Nah. Like Expanding Ooze is probably the best card in the pack, but well, again, I wanted to draft some different colors. Again, blue and black is open. Yeah, we're not really proliferating all that much. Also not sure we're doing anything with this. Who knows? Alright, something good. Well, this is good. So Philia is surely one of the better rares in the set. It has decent stats, and it can either just take out a blocker for a turn, clearing the way for your attackers, or exile, you know, your own cards with, say, with enters the battlefield abilities like a Witch Enchanter for value. So I will certainly be taking this. If Philia were not in the pack, yeah, again, it dries up very, very quickly somehow. Maybe I would even take Conduit Goblin and maybe go for like a red-white energy deck somehow. Because we're not really doing stuff with Eldrazi's. We don't need more lands at the moment. Nor do we need a Null Elemental Blast or Junk Diver or other stuff. Yeah, it really takes some getting used to in this format. Another Depth Defiler is appealing. So I don't think we're gonna be red. We're definitely white. Questions, are we white-green or white-blue? Either take Depth Defiler and just go white-blue, which, well, that's fine, it's just a good card. Or the alternative is, I guess, Envoy of the Ancestors. Yeah, and go white-green. I think Depth Defiler is the right pick, because it's just more powerful overall. But I am going to take Envoy due to color preferences. Because I just enjoy white-green more. And there is another Depth Defiler. Okay, fine. Feels like the universe is trying to tell me something. And this time I will listen, because there's also no real alternative in the booster. And white-blue might also be open. Alright, fine. Ooh, Nadu. Maybe we can go 3-color. This one has awesome applications for combo decks in Modern, where you just target your own creatures with Shuko or something to draw a bunch of cards. But in Limited it has like amazing stats and, well, just draws cards as well. Yeah, I'll certainly be taking this and maybe looking indeed into a 3-color deck then. That seems fine. Like, we have some fixers, right? White-blue, green-white, green-blue. Yeah, we can go 3 colors. I think that's fine. Another Witch Enchanter. Yeah, I think that's just a very solid card overall. Yeah, okay. Does this do something? I guess if we can target our Nadu to draw cards. Nah, this doesn't really do anything for us either. Maybe just a Malevolent Rumble. If we're playing 3 colors, you know, it digs for the best cards we have and maybe fixes us somewhat. Yeah, this deck is awkward, but we'll make it work. I guess I'll take another land for the fixing. Goes like Unsealing. Yeah, it doesn't do enough for us. So which land do we want? White, blue, or white, or green, blue? Yeah, I will not be able to analyze that in like 4 seconds. Probably should have been green, blue, because I have like Witch Enchanters that already count as like white sources. Essence of Reliquary, can we do something with that? The alternative is just, I don't know, random 4-drop or something. Or Venomable Truth. More fixing. Even more fixing. At some point, there's gonna be a limit. Let's explore where the limit is. Okay, we'll figure it out while building the deck. I'm guessing that 7 of these lands is just gonna be too much, but we'll figure out the mana base as we go. The deck looks okay so far. It's you know, a curve and reasonable cards. Maybe with all the like the fixing with like 10 common lands is actually quite good. So maybe we should be drafting 3 colors more frequently, especially when these things go so late. Tune the narrative, not bad. We don't really do that much with energy yet, but it's good to have the option. Maybe. Okay, I don't think we want the Harbinger of the Seas. This card, on the other hand, is excellent. It's like a 2/2 flyer for 3, which is already decent stats. And then with a Force Spike attached, can really get them. Oh, well, there's also Signature Slam, which I think is just better. I think both are excellent uncommons, but I have a small preference for the Signature Slam. This can just win one combat, and then the modified creature, which we surely have, then kills something else, so potentially an easy 2-for-1. We also don't really have much in the way of removal yet, so that kind of fills a gap in our deck. Nope. Okay, this card is really powerful. Not for us, but just to point it out. Twisted Riddle Keeper. Alright, can we, yeah, with Emerge? Fine, we can probably emerge something, like sacrifice like a Witch Enchanter or something. Oh, I wanna try this. That looks like fun. Flare, yeah. That's more for modern. It's still potentially playable, but we're kind of like halfway splashing green, so it doesn't really count as a good fixer. So it's between Stump Sump and Eldrazi Repurposer. I think generally speaking Stump Sump is the better card of the two, but we don't have that many 3-drops yet, and I think the Eldrazi spawn are actually quite good for this deck when we have big Eldrazi's to ramp into. So this feels like a better addition to our current draft pool. Well, another Repurposer, which I think is the best green common overall. It's always excellent value. Though maybe Faithful Watchdog is better. Huh. Yeah, that's gonna be close. That'll depend on the mana base, which I will not be able to figure out in 18 seconds. Yeah, when we have double blue cards, it might be somewhat tough. Let's just go for the Repurposer. Hexagold Slith. A fine 2-drop. But I kinda like the Oozewag. Like 6/6 for 4 mana. It's not bad. It's between the Slit and the Oozewag. And I think it's close between the two. Even in our curve, like these Witch Enchanters don't really count as 4-drops fully. Worm potentially good. We don't have a way of sacrificing it. Probably between Serum Visionary and Dark Umbra. Let's take the Umbra, because we don't have much in the way of removal yet. Priest of Titania. Not terrible, actually. Though I think I like the Auxiliary a bit more. I think it's just a very strong 4-drop. Effectively 5 power and toughness for 4 mana. Some of which are flying. I like it. Double white is gonna be tough, but the card is very good. Demon Inferior is decent too. In the meantime, I'm just looking up some cards on my pick order list to see where I put them. Yeah, Demon Inferior has got to be better. Okay, fine. I like the Oozwag better than the Tempest Harvester, but at some point we also need some more 2-drops. Because our 4-drop slot is already getting pretty full. Though... Yeah, I'm not sure how we're gonna like build this draft pool exactly. This Riding Chrysalis should not go that late. Well, another fixing land, because why not? Though... Actually, just take this and we'll figure out how many we want to play. I like the idea. Alright. So, anything in here? Will we do something with Dreamtide Whale? Probably not. Oh, this card's actually decent. Completely forgot about that. Okay, we don't do much with energy, I don't think, so Tune the Narrative can go. We have a couple of colorless cards, but not many, so Sage of the Ennoble can be removed as well. It almost seems like we are... Yeah, what are we actually splashing? Blue, kind of? Splashing blue for the double blue card, which is ultimately a little awkward. It's kind of like an impulse slash vamp card. Okay, what the hell is this deck even doing? I'm thinking we want to just go full 3 colors. Yeah, maybe Reform is underrated. I generally like to run more proactive cards than defensive cards, but I think in the right deck it could actually, like in a more controlling deck, it is probably very good. Just an insane roadblock that opponents can never get through. Yeah, this is gonna be a mana base puzzle. Likely cut Foul Strike. Nah, Foul Strike is probably even better than Wing It. Yeah. Maybe cut the Planar Genesis or Rumble. So we're kind of trying to curve while sacrificing our lands. And then getting ahead with like a Depth Defiler or Twisted Riddle Keeper on turn 5 or 6. It's sort of a plan. Another alternative is to just make it green-white beatdown and just limit the splash to, I guess, a Twisted Riddle Keeper and the Nadu. How would that look? Also not great, because we don't really have enough cards to fill up with. No, so that's not really an option. We do want the double Depth Defiler. So how many blue sources do we... We're still kind of splashing blue, I think. So how many... So that means no Planar Genesis. So how many blue sources do we need for this? probably 6 or so. Of which 2 islands, of course, because we need double blue to even cast a depth defiler. And for... yeah, if we even play this. But I think we do. White, probably 9. Green, 8. So... how many lands do we have currently? 18. Sure, I can live with that. So we need one more card in there even. I don't know, it could just be Tempest Harvest or Wing It. Probably Tempest Harvester. Yeah, 16 lands would also be fine. Or at least in terms of like amount. But if you have a 3-color deck, you generally want more lands. You just have access to more colored sources overall. Yeah, 17 lands in total should be okay. So this way we have 17. Okay, so let's see. Suppose we play all of these fixing lands, which we probably might not. Let's make a pile with blue. This all gives blue. So then we would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue sources. That's already more than enough. So we can probably even shave some of those. We then want, what is it, like 9 white. So here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 for now. An 8 green. That is 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that works out. And with 17 lands apparently. So this would give us 8 green, 9 white, and how much blue was it again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doesn't really count as like full blue sources because sometimes we will have to crack these for green or white, but that is okay. These also count as white to some extent, but we do want a lot if we run this White Orchid Phantom, which theoretically can destroy, say, this white-green land and allow us to search for an island. You know, could come up. So in this mana base we run 7, 9 fetch lands and 10 regular lands. Like normally if these were Evolving Wilds, it's like way too many and just the battlefield tapped lands. But here it is kind of okay because, you know, they can just enter as untapped sources. On turn 1 we will always be fetching. Then turn 2 some other like normal basic land, and then turn 3 we just have like a colorless source and work with that. And then, you know, on turn 5 or 6 we just sacrifice these for an island and be able to cast a depth defiler. Looks like a plan. Yeah, I want to try this. That's more of these lands than I had ever imagined to put into my deck, but the mana base should work out this way. In theory. Of course no green, but I will keep because, well, we have 8 green sources in our deck. And we have like a 2-drop, really strong cards here, and that's a green source. Hey, nice. Alright, so that's turn 2 Evangel, turn 3 Nadu, turn 4 Uzwag. No, I'm already lining it up here. Okay, let me also fetch. And then turn 5, activate the Uzwag, play another land, turn 6, Depth Defiler. Looks good to me. Mana base is just perfect. Well, then I will be attacking, because I'm not blocking the Hexgold Slith. And this one will probably tap for mana. And we don't have much in the way of proliferation at this time. Can proliferate flying counters. Put like a second flying counter into a creature. That doesn't really help. They'll probably want to block with slits, but that's fine. Oh, okay. I did choose how much energy to pay on resolution, so bumping it is not going to help. Well, but now they don't have Galvanic Discharge for Nadu. Or at least hopefully they don't have another one and this one sticks. And even if it doesn't, if they have another removal spell, this always just draws a card. So yeah, this creature is just incredible. That's pretty good. Huh. Alright, well, this race is getting to be a problem. I was just saying how good Nado is, but maybe I actually block here. Because otherwise, what am I doing? Attacking with Nadu, playing Temperamental Oozwag, then the Oozwag blocks the Void Pouncer. Or heaven forbid they have like a removal spell and put me down to 7. I'm never winning the race. Given that I have Depth Defiler that can just draw cards and overpower them with an Oozwag, I think I'm okay with the block here. I'll just go into defense mode. Not what I was expecting, how the game would go, but that's fine. Yep. But that's okay. Can Depth Defiler bounce my own creatures? Yes, it can. I like it. We'll have to wait for a turn though. Ooh, that can also bounce my own creatures. Nice. Mana base a little awkward, but alright. I could block with Philia and pump it somehow. Feels risky against so much open mana and not necessary, so let's not do that. Barbarian Ring, alright. Ooh. Okay, well, that will put a bunch of pressure on my life total all of a sudden. Interesting. Pretty sure I still want to blink my own Oozwag. but I cannot really fetch because I need this to reinforce after they sack the commander. I mean, they can like sacrifice everything to deal with it, but then they don't have anything left. Or they can sacrifice these two Eldrazi's to then sacrifice the spawn again commander in response, which might be worth it, but yeah. Fine. A little unfortunate, because these cards do nothing. I guess Traven Charm onto the Dryad might have been okay. Yeah, I should have done that in the first place. Should I? Yeah, this is just going to this is going to bounce my Oozwag. Then this attacks as like a 4/3 first strike. I can block it. Yeah, this is fine. Because I need to go through the Death Toucher at some point anyway. And protecting my life total might actually end up mattering. We can destroy Umbra. Ooh, good point. Destroy target enchantment. Yeah, that would have been better. See, I need to get better at reading chat in time. Because that somehow completely escaped me. That's a relevant ability. Alright, no big deal. We'll work it out. We need double blue and double... Well, for the moment we just want double blue. Like the double white can come later, because if we draw like a regular land I want to kick this. Apparently not. I could kick it by paying 3 life. Is that worth it? Maybe it is. No. Oh wait, this grew to a 5/4. Right, I think I need a break. So I could still kick it. No, wait, then I die to the Barbarian Ring. So I cannot kick it. Damn it. Oh. Need to return the Oozwag. I cannot even block, and I need to play the Witch Enchanter just tapped. Yikes. Because I need like both of these next turn. That's why I have to play this tapped. And I don't want to jump. And with the Barbarian Ring I'm currently effectively at 7. Not great. What am I even doing? Why am I blocking with the Oozwag? See, I said I needed to break. I mean it. Yeah, this made no sense whatsoever. The correct play was to just block with the Depth Defiler and pump it. Yeah, I've been playing for like over 2 hours straight. Starting to feel it. guess we can attack now. Sure. I don't really care about the Worn Power Stone, but spending our mana is useful. I don't want to be fetching with the land because we have another Depth Defiler to draw, and the colorless mana could matter. I also completely forgot that Barbarian Ring can actually go to any target. I thought it was just gonna go face. Maybe I confused it with Ramana Ruins, but yeah, this card is better. That's also not bad. So we are dead if they decide to attack. I am taking a small break and I'll be back soon. There we go. Alright. Let's play some more. Hopefully with a bit better focus in this game. You know, when I play the Arena Open, I quite often just take some break between every match. Because, well, after playing for like 2 hours straight or so, the focus does start to slip quite a bit. And by taking small breaks in between every match to, you know, reset and chill, it's yeah, it does wonders for your concentration. one gives blue. Yeah, that's... Oh, wait. Well, as I said, it does wonders for your concentration, but I still needed a longer break. The correct play here was Witch Enchanter tapped. Turn 1 Witch Enchanter tapped, turn 2 Forest Faithful Watchdog, turn 3 this land that I just played, Eldrazi Repurposer, and then, well, continue after that. Because now I am, like, I've priced myself into playing Philia on turn 2 rather than the Faithful Watchdog, which doesn't even work with Eldrazi Repurposer because that's a cost trigger. But I will certainly fetch for an island because I need to for the Depth Defiler. So yeah, I may have just lost the game on turn 1. Well, I was planning to lead with Philia. Leading with Metastatic Evangel is also an option, because then there's like turn 2 Evangel, turn 3 Watchdog. This immediately triggers Proliferate, so the Watchdog is a 4/4, which is decent too. So what is the opponent going to do? Just play any random creature on the next turn. If I Philia, like I attack for 2, but that's like whatever at this point. The extra token from the Repurposer doesn't matter too much, and I would rather have it after this combo is on the table. So yeah, this actually works. So now the plan is turn 3 Watchdog enters as a 4/4. Turn 4 Eldrazi Repurposer, double trigger Proliferate. Have like a humongous Watchdog, and then, well, hopefully go to victory. This does mean that the Evangel does not want to trade off for anything on the next turn. Alright, change of plans once again. Then we will just go for Eldrazi Repurposer next turn, I assume, yeah. That still feels okay, because then next turn we can play this as a land and cast both Watchdog and Philia, use all of our mana efficiently. Well, we can start by attacking, because if they block, then, well, I have a good trick up my sleeve. I guess not. Yeah, this still makes sense. Because we are racing. But we definitely have the edge in the race, because this one can give Faithful Watchdog lifelink. Of course, they have a similar effect. We also have a combat trick. Right. So now it immediately has lifelink and flying. Okay. Fine. So I can always blink it with Philia if need be. To kind of reset it. I assume they want to pump the Envoy. And I hope they do, because it clears the way for Philia. Interesting, no pump. Okay, so they must expect that something is up. Or they just have some kind of combat trick that they want to leverage mid-combat. Well, I will one-up them. Though I can't really yeah, Philia still has to blink the Envoy, because they're gonna block Philia, and then I have to act first into their combat trick, which is not going to work out well for me. But like if I blink here, I can just foul strike to destroy this one, then it returns normally. Yeah. Which is still fine, I guess. Yeah, sure. The signature slam will come later. We'll just use this to destroy the gargoyle, I think. Alright, so they were not able to use any of their mana. Must be some kind of combat trick. Let's take out the lifelinker. Oh, what's that one? That gives hexproof. And indestructible, sure. Alright. This adapts for 6. So potentially next turn turns into 5/5 flyer. But one way or another, I think I can attack with everything. Hold on. So what if I blink the Envoy? No ideal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe play Oozewag. So I can block here. I go up to 9 with lifelink. They can then attack for 3, 4, 8. That looks fine. I'm just a bit wary of like starting with a signature slam when they have untapped mana. Though I'm not sure if they can really have anything. It could work out poorly. Well, if I just blink here, I attack with everything. I slam. They destroy this in response. 8. I'm up to 9. But then next turn it looks bad. Yeah, so somehow this feels safer. If they have a land, they can adapt and then take me down to 1, which is fine. Sure. Okay, well, they don't have anything. That's fairly clear. So we're just going in for the kill, I assume. Bounce, I don't know this. Like, I assume there's no settle the wreckage in this format. I think we got them. Also don't think they had anything in hand in the end. Even though I was playing around stuff. Well, I guess they had that. Yeah, generally speaking, I don't like to lead off with a signature slam into open mana. But it worked out. Especially when the opponent was like conspicuously leaving up mana all the time. So far the 3-color plan with the depth defilers, it's a bit too deep. Maybe the deck would be better without the depth defilers. Well, I guess we'll just forego the turn to Watchdog. Because I would rather curve an alternative 2-drop into the insane Nadu. Ooh. Alright, so this one could emerge from, say, Tempest Harvester. So then it only costs 5 mana to play. So that's gonna be sweet on turn 5. The charge bug. Wait, do I have to activate this first, maybe? No, I'll threaten a block. Don't think I will block if they attack with the charge bug. That feels unnecessarily risky in the face of a possible pump trick. But I at least want them to consider it. An end of turn. Ooh. Alright. Sad. End of turn I will loot. Maybe toss the Watchdog, because we don't have white mana yet. Yep. We also don't have a second, well, we have a second blue here for the depth defiler, so yeah, this looks good. Okay, means that we can... Or do we want to loot again? Probably, actually. Because turn 5 Twisted Riddle Keeper might be nice. That's an enormous flyer. So yeah, I think I would rather discard the Straven Charm in search of a 5th land. Also, it means that I can't really attack with the charge bug into my 2 creatures. Ah, they said oops because they first wanted to bestow and then play the land. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, sure. plan is a plan. There's no way they're gonna block, right? That's what I thought. No? So which lands? It's like it could be anything. Okay, I'm guessing red is one of the main colors because they have 2-drops. Same for white, maybe? I don't know. This is like a complete gamble. The wacky 4-color decks. This is really weird list though. It's mainly black red and then splashing white and blue or something. Creative. I'll just use this now. Like, we're gonna be racing, so might as well work towards that. Alright, I'll have some options of lands to sacrifice. Great. Still haven't found a white source, which is weird. That's the thing we have the most of. No. I do lose the counter now, but that's fine. Otherwise I would have taken like 5 damage from the glyph. Sure. So I just need to keep one of these lands around to pay the kicker cost on this one, but the other one can thin my deck. Wait. Did I already draw all of my forests? Ah, right. My deck currently only has plains as basic lands. Let's not sacrifice the other one. That would be kind of a waste. But come back, come back! It wasn't over yet. But these Eldrazi's are just dragging my opponent and devouring the multiverse. This time it worked. But yeah, to review the deck again. I mean, the depth defiler was good here. We don't really have proper alternatives, I would say. But if I had 2 more reasonable white and green cards, I would almost surely like shave these, keep the splash to just say Nadu and Twisted Riddle Keeper, and have a more consistent deck. I would not, like, based on how these few games feel, I would not recommend drafting something like this. It is a bit too much on the mana base. Playable, slow, kind of bad actually. But I mean, this will probably get me a land, and then I have turn 3 Oozewag, which is at least a plan. Also have lands and spells. It's worth keeping. But we will have to focus on putting up a good defense early game, because with like Depth Defiler and Twisted Riddle Keeper, our late game should be pretty strong. So just need to make sure that we don't die quickly. Harvester is also an option, because that would allow us to keep the Eldrazi spawn around for something else, but I think the Oozwag is still gonna be best. Do want a white land. Let's go white-blue, because we might also just naturally draw up lanes and then have the option of turning this into an island for the Depth Defiler. So they're not adapting, or I guess they wanted to adapt but just forgot. Actually, maybe Repurposer is the superior option here. Because then I can just emerge the Riddle Keeper next turn. What are we doing? So option 1 is just to drop the Oozwag. 4/4 blocks there, 3/3 when attacking. But the Repurposer would also block. Yeah, I'm thinking. Like this is like the one turn in the game where the decision actually matters. Intuitively this feels better, but I can't really say why. It's like I don't have the time to think all the turns ahead. Like if I had gone Repurposer, then next turn there would be an Oozwag, probably. So, likely combat trick. Is that a problem? I mean, there's certainly some merit to just throwing it in front, having them spend their combat trick, and then they can't really do anything else on this turn. Like I do have a re-trick with Wing It, so there is also merit to just taking it here. Taking it is probably better, because then I can next turn Repurposer and like re-trick with Wing It. Gonna depend on what their trick exactly is, but yeah. We'll be playing defense. That's gonna be pretty good, actually. 2 creatures with counters, so Proliferate does a lot. This is just a strong card overall. Okay. I guess it just made a bluff last turn. That's very dangerous, because I was very close to blocking, if that's the case. Going off. Alright. So now what? Where did the... Oh, they didn't use a shield counter, they just proliferated twice. Sure. Well... Defiler can bounce something. Just bounce the brute scale, for example. No, that doesn't really work. Then you just get like a bunch more proliferate. Could also make the Riddle Keeper lock down the big creatures, but that's... then I need to emerge. I'd rather just emerge the Harvester at some point later. Not sure I even want to be drawing cards with this, I don't think so. Could also go Harvester and Traben Charm the Brute Scale, I guess, or the Hydra. That's also an option. Certainly don't want to bounce the Hydra. Bouncing the Brute Scale is also not gonna get me anywhere. Yeah. No, I should have kept mana open for the Oozewag. Yeah, that was bad. Even though it sets up for the Riddle Keeper later, but I guess I'll just pause then. Yeah. Alright, well that's a problem. Sure. Where did the blue mana come from? For the emerge? Oh. Okay, I'm missing something. How did they get blue mana? Oh. I can destroy something, probably the Hydra. Then emerge with a Riddle Keeper, sacking, I guess, Eldrazi Repurposer. Tapping that and the other one, so stabilizing. So I can jump here. Sure. Ah, they're also proliferating the... Huh. Proliferating the stun counters. I actually missed that interaction. Okay, that is really strong. That's a problem. Oh well. Nope, nope. I want my blue, I want my white mana, please. These, please. Yeah, this is going wrong. I'm pretty sure that I had a way to win this game. Like, I'm confident that I did not play this in the best way I could. So what's the plan here all of a sudden? Do we even have a plan? Let's suppose they have nothing remaining. Then next turn, depth defiler, bounce this. Probably loot, play land, wing it on depth defiler to block over here. So that means I need to just take this now. Yes. And I don't even want to loot because I need both. So I'd rather save the energy for later. Now if I don't draw a white source, I also cannot wing it. Which is not the end of the world, because I can just like block these, go down to 4, and then take this down with wing it on the next turn. So that's fine. Yeah, I guess I could still stabilize in this way. Alright, they never even emerged this, by the way. They just cast it for 8 mana. That's also an option, of course. Meh. This Evangel doesn't do much for me. Whereas the Forest at least allows Depth Defiler on the next turn with like certain wing it. Well, I'll probably loot it away anyway. Yeah. Should I loot now? Nah. Chance of hitting a plains is too low. Should have held priority. You have to like hold control on arena, but like play this and then hold priority, adapt in response to the proliferate trigger. That would have been better. So it was actually like a bluff attack at some point, which, or maybe they had the foul strike actually. I don't know. Yeah, they did. Yeah. Never mind. Okay, well that's a plan, I guess. Right. So then it's probably time for Auxiliary and Wing It. Only problem is that they are going to adapt, make this big, then adapt this, get a token, trigger. So this is like a 6/6, and this is gonna be a what is it? 7/8. Dear Lord. Yeah, that Metastatic Evangel is just incredible. But I don't really have a way out of it. I don't think. No, I do have to play this. Probably not tapped optimally. whatever. So Depth Defiler has to jump in front of the Riddle Keeper one way or another, so I guess we are putting counters on here. I don't know. Yeah, they can just double Adept, attack with everything. Even if I wing it, my Depth Defiler blocking the Riddle Keeper, I will not be able to set up like profitable enough blocks. I don't think, well, this here, jump, yeah. That's not gonna do it. Oh. This does something similar, fine. Well, actually it means that the Brute Skill is not gonna be lethal. Though, it still doesn't look good. Alright, so Depth Defiler takes down the Riddle Keeper. We triple block the Wombat. Jump the Rhino. That makes sense, right? I assume we're gonna need something better, although the token might help. Yeah, let's assume we need something better. Okay, this blocks here. These two onto the Wombat. Jump, I guess. Sure. I'll leave the loot for next turn, because I don't think we're gonna get something better than Depth Defiler. Yeah, bounce this guy, I guess. Not great. So this adapts into a 4/4. This then also adds. What am I doing? Like I want to start racing, but I can't really. Maybe this one can attack, right? This is small. This turns into 3, 4. Block, 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 block. The flyer can attack, because it also gains lifelink, so I'm gonna need that. I think that works out. It's big, yes. Huh. Alright, well, maybe. This one can attack with lifelink in the air. That's a nice start. Add another blocker. Okay. Maybe. This one also has lifelink, which could be relevant. Well, at least we gain some life. And we're still kind of stable. Can now start attacking with Airy Auxiliary. It's a 5-turn clock. Make it a 3-turn clock with lifelink, I guess. Probably worth it. Though boosting this for a turn also means that they can't really attack. Huh. And this one could attack on the next turn. Philia doesn't really do anything, but well, it's just a random dork. This is a game plan. Let's just go for this. Okay, the auto tapper doesn't really want to help me. I think I still have a planes on my deck. Along with a bunch of nonsense lands. Relevant cards are Dog Umbra, another flyer, Signature Slam. Alright. I don't think there's a reason to. Well, I might be strained on mana. Like if I draw something that I want to play and adapt this on the next turn, maybe. No, at this point we can start outlasting. Actually, I have lethal next turn. They better find an answer for the flyer, or it's gonna be over. That doesn't do it. Huh, I think we actually got this. Pretty sure I did not play optimally. It was a complicated game, but well, at this time, looks like we have it in the bag. Up to 25 life even. This Envoy of the Ancestors really changed the equation with the lifelink ability. Wow. Whew. Got there. These games are Slogfest. Lifelink for the win, indeed. Okay, one more game, and then I'm gonna call it quits for today. It's been enough thinking, head exploding. Well, it's a hand. So turn 1, fetch a planes, turn 2 this, make it 2-2, you know, flying for a strike, turn 3 this, turn 4 that, it's a curve. So that means we need to fetch a planes on turn 1. These lands are equivalent. And then this can fetch an island later. Yep. Works for me. It's a pretty good curve actually. Yeah, it did feel a bit weird to put this double white card into a deck with like a 3-color deck, but the mana base could somehow support it. It's gonna be great. So now I don't really need double white anymore, which means I'm just gonna turn it into an island. It even fixes. It does it all. If I draw a Nadu on the next turn, I can't even play it, but that doesn't really matter. If I draw another blue card, you know, I can more easily play it in a couple turns from now. This is nice. So do I want to make the Repurposer or the Envoy here? I think the answer is the Repurposer, because then when I play, then on turn 5 I can make Envoy and sacrifice the Eldrazi spawn to adapt the Oozewag and immediately attack for 6 with lifelink. Whereas if I play the Envoy here, then the curve doesn't work out as well. It still works out in the same way, but then I would have to be attacking with the Envoy on turn 5, and I'd rather attack with the Repurposer. So that's why this seems to be the better 3-drop. We are attacking today. Baboom. Sure. So they can still adapt because the counter is on the aura, but it does cost black-green, which they don't have. So I can't really attack with the Repurposer, not into creature of this size. But the Oozewag will dare, I think. Because, what can they have? Like a +2/+2 trick? Then we still trade. Okay. Not sure how that helps. Seems like it would have been better to just put the Umbra onto the Oozewag. Because, yeah, this didn't really accomplish what I assumed they wanted. Alright, in case you want to target stuff mid-combat, let's lead with this. Good attack with both, I guess. Like, this is going to adapt into 6/6. So I assume they want to be blocking the Oozewag. Which means that this guy can attack as well. If I attack with this, it does give them the option of blocking here and then going down to 1. I think I'm happy enough with that. Yeah, I'll just throw the Repurposer under the bus. Okay. Seems like they are reconsidering. No? Okay. And because everything has trample and other creatures have flying, it seems very likely that I will be able to set up lethal on the next turn. They would basically have to have some kind of sweeper. There is a sweeper in the format, like one based on energy. That would be unfortunate. That is not it. I assume I got this. Maybe I'm forgetting something. So I might as well get an island just in case. This looks omega lethal. Let's attack with everything. Like, nothing has lifelink, right? Not even sure what I'm doing. No. Like, I believe this is lethal, but maybe I'm missing something. Got there. Alright, I think I've played enough for today. Modern Horizons 3 draft is fun like any new limited format. The 2 decks I drafted both seemed absolutely terrible, which is a little weird, but it feels like because the packs are filled with so many gold commons and tricolor lands, as well as cards that are really made for modern, packs tend to dry up quite quickly in terms of playables, and yeah, this might not be the type of format where you can reliably, as I often like to do, go for, like semi-forcing a certain set of archetypes that I like, but you really have to like find the open lane. Mm, how many drafts so far? Like 4 or 5, which is not all that much, but these are like my first impressions. This deck on the whole like looks fine, but as I mentioned, the double splash with this many lands. If I could draft it again, and if I would have like more green and white playables, I would just go for that instead. But yeah, it can be tough when there's not always that many single color cards that are playable in the packs, which is counterintuitive because Modern Horizons 3, the cards, like many of the commons, the power level is very high, right? Because it's from like a modern base set, it doesn't have to go through standard. But then at the same time, you don't always get easily to a good number of playables. It's it's an interesting format to crack, but it's been fun so far. In any case, thank you all for watching. Here on the Ultimate Guard channel, we often have sponsored Ultimate Guard team players sharing their gameplay. So be sure to follow to see more of us, and well, have a good one.